This is an overview of how to use the grand strategy matrix that is discussed in your text and that you need to complete for the FASN case study. So the grand strategy matrix is really just a chart that evaluates two dimensions, the competitive position and the market or industry growth for a company. So this is what it looks like. So in order to compute the grand strategy matrix, all you're going to do is look at a company and decide which quadrant that it falls into. So let's look at Amazon.com, for example. So first we would look, do they have a weak competitive position or strong competitive position? I would say it's strong, so we throw them over on this side. Then we say, do they have slow market growth or rapid market growth? I would say it's rapid. That would put them in quadrant 1. Quadrant 1 says that a company that falls into quadrant 1 should use one of the following 7 strategies. Let's look at another example. Let's look at, I'm thinking, let's take a look at a company like, let's do Coca-Cola. Do they have a weak competitive position or a strong competitive position? They have a strong competitive position. Do they have rapid market growth or slower market growth? Well, because the actual soda industry itself is not a super fast growing market right now because of all the health trends. So they would fall into quadrant 4, which says that the company should get into related diversification, unrelated diversification, or joint ventures. And I think we've seen this by Coca-Cola. Let's look at somebody who has a weak competitive position. How about, I'm thinking, how about, let's assume that Nokia still had telephones. Okay. Do they have a weak or strong competitive position? Well, they would have a weak competitive position. Not many people would have a Nokia phone, or even we can actually use BlackBerry. BlackBerry came on the market again recently. So BlackBerry has a weak competitive position. Is it a rapid growth market or a slow growth market? Well, phones in themselves, I wouldn't say are rapidly growing because we're getting into the mature stage. But I wouldn't say that they're completely slow. So they probably fall somewhere in the middle. Let's assume that it's rapid market. Let's just assume. So then it would fall into quadrant 2, and you'd have market development, market penetration, product development, horizontal integration, divestiture, or liquidation as options. It's almost like the companies that are in this quadrant are question marks, like if they were a product in there. But basically, if for a company like BlackBerry, unless they can really develop some awesome products or penetrate some new markets or develop new markets, maybe they go to developing markets. That's what some companies do. When they have a product that's reached the maturity stage in the US, they go to a developing country and it becomes popular again. Or in this case, they could just say, we're done, we're going to get rid of this, we're done with the phone industry. So that's how the grand strategy matrix works. Now, if you wanted to, you could go to this tool and use the grand. All you're doing is going on here and here's the grand strategy. All you're doing is you're going on here and you're saying the name of your firm and then the various divisions. And what it's allowing you to do is to say, do we have a weak competitive position or a strong competitive position? Let's just say that we use Amazon again. All right, so the x-axis, are they weak competitive or strong? I would say they're pretty strong. Oops, I'm going to use 9. All right, do they have slow market growth or rapid market growth? Let's say a 7. All right, and we could do different divisions if we wanted. Like we could say like the Kindle, and we could say Fire TV, music. All right, you could do that if you want. But for the purpose of your case study, what you would just say is just in general for FASN. All right, and so what we would do is we click Grand, and here it says, oh, look, they're in quadrant 1. So pretty simple. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Thanks.